Hi, this is Marcia Richards, Beth Israel Deaconess, registered dietitian and community liaison. This video is going to be about high calcium, also protein, and even some vitamin C. We are going to make a baked broccoli and macaroni and cheese. So I have already gone ahead and I have cooked about a half a box of pasta. I chose small shells and also about 6 ounces of broccoli. But you could add more or less. You could even add other vegetables if you wanted. So next we're going to make the roux. So I'm going to point my camera down so that you can see the stove. So I have already melted my 1.5 tablespoons of butter. And next, I am going to add about 1/4 cup of onion. And we'll stir that around just for a minute. And I've got my heat on about medium high. So this needs to cook for about 2 minutes. Okay, so my onion has cooked for about 2 minutes. Next, I'm going to add some flour. And this is going to get stirred for about a minute until the flour is kind of a golden brown. And that happens with the butter and the onion. It smells really good. Onion and butter. How could it not smell good? So you can see that this has thickened up a bit, a lot. Next, I am going to add milk. This recipe serves 8, but I am doing a half portion, which will be plenty. So I've added my milk, and I also have about 1/2 cup of low sodium chicken broth that I am also going to add in. And I am going to heat this. I turned my heat down to low earlier. I'm going to turn it back up to about medium. And when this comes to a boil, I'm going to cook it and keep a good eye on it for about 5 minutes. So I want you to see, I know the steam probably gets in the way, but I want you to see how it is bubbling. So this took about 5 minutes to get up to a bubble, and it is getting thick. And the consistency I want is smooth and thick. I don't want it too thick, but as you can kind of see, it is thickening up nicely. Once it starts to thicken, it'll thicken fast. So I'm going to give this another few seconds, and then we're going to take it off the heat, and we're going to add the cheese and mix that in. So while this is boiling, you really do have to keep it stirring or it'll scald to the bottom, and we don't want that. We don't want it to burn. So this is looking very good to me. So I am going to take the heat off. I am going to move this off of that burner so it doesn't continue to cook. And I have got about 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheeses. So I am mixing that in. The cheese has all melted and it is a really nice consistency. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, just a couple of cranks. I'm not going to add salt because I feel that the cheese provides enough salt, and a person can add some salt at the table if they really need to. So next, we are going to add my cooked shells and broccoli. I used frozen broccoli. You could use fresh if you preferred. I just had some frozen available. And these are the flowerets. And this is just going to get stirred all together. I love macaroni and cheese. This will give you about 300 milligrams of calcium in about a 1 cup serving, which is about a third of what you need in a day. So that's pretty good. In one meal, if you could get a third of your calcium, and then you get a third in your other 2 meals, or maybe have a snack with some almonds, which are also high in calcium, but not a dairy source if you have trouble with dairy, or a cheese stick. Beans are also a good source of calcium as well. So this is all set. I have got a 8x8 pan, and I sprayed it with some cooking spray. I am going to put this in my pan. And again, I have halved this recipe. If I was cooking for more people, I would have kept it whole, but it's just 2 of us here tonight, although this is an awesome leftover meal. The broccoli is called a cruciferous vegetable, great source of antioxidants and other awesome things to keep you healthy. Lastly, I have got some seasoned breadcrumbs. I'm going to sprinkle that on top. And I have about a tablespoon of grated Parmesan. And I'm going to sprinkle that on top. And I am going to pop this in my 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And then I'll be back to show it to you. Welcome back. I cooked this for about 15 minutes at 375. Then I did pop it under the broiler for a couple of minutes so that the breadcrumbs could kind of brown up. So it's very creamy, and it smells awesome. It looks awesome. The texture is nice. So I am going to probably serve this with another vegetable. Each serving is going to be about 300 calories with an additional 300 milligrams of calcium, which is 1/3 of what we need. The broccoli provides us with some vitamin C and about 6 grams of fiber. So this is a really good healthy meal. It's also low in saturated fat, the fat that we try to protect our heart by not having. And because we used skim milk and low-fat cheese, and we added some broth to kind of cut back on some of the other fat that might need to have been involved in this recipe, it ends up being quite beautiful. So I'll probably add a vegetable to this and enjoy it. So this is Marcia Richards, community registered dietitian and community liaison from Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Take care.